On September 21st, 2000, I was there.
I knew it was going to be hard to come back a second time to this brand new ballpark on 3rd and King. Paying 4 times the face value of a ticket in May would be enough to keep me away for the rest of the season, right? Given the circumstances of that point in the 2000 season, I didn't care. I was going to try anyway. I had cash ready in my hand should the situation rise again. I had the night off work that Thursday. I was going to make the trip and hope for the best. Hop in my car, gobble a pizza, and listen to some Andrew Dice Clay on the way up there. After my first trip to the new ballpark on May 25th, a 4-1 win over the Montreal Expos, the Giants were sitting near the bottom of the NL West at 8 games behind the Arizona Diamondbacks. I would learn something 12 years later, but Jason Robards said it best in Little Big League.
Okay, it's only May. A lot can happen.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. For the next 2 months, the Giants would slowly begin to chip away at the lead. A 5-game winning streak in mid-June would slash the lead in half, but they were still sniffing the hind ends of the Rockies, Dodgers, and the D-backs. They would continue the month of June trying to get out of the mud puddle. Then came July, right before the All-Star break. An 8-game winning streak that included the Giants taking 2 of 3 from the Dodgers, a 4-game sweep of the Rockies that included taking both games of an Independence Day doubleheader and taking 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. After that hot streak, the Giants were in second place, breathing down Arizona's neck. By the end of July, the Giants had done it. Despite the fact that they didn't put together a winning streak longer than 3 games in those 2 weeks, the Giants were tied for first with the Diamondbacks. In August, thanks to a 4-game winning streak and a 6-game winning streak, that's where they would stay, holding on to the lead during that month. They would keep ahead of the D-backs by at least 3 games by the end of August. Another hot streak in the beginning of September would blow that lead wide open. A week before my birthday, the Giants were 7.5 games up on the D-backs. They went on another 4-game winning streak just before my birthday, and by September 20th, the Giants were up a whopping 11 games. The term magic number would be used for the past week. Going into this game, the magic number to clinch the NL West was 1. The Giants would be facing the Diamondbacks in a rare 5-game weekend series. Originally scheduled as 4, the two would play a day-night doubleheader on September 23rd to make up a home game that got rained out on April 16th. All the Giants had to do on that night was win, and they were in. 2 things that were astounding in all of this. The Giants made up a 9-game deficit and turned it into an 11-game lead in 4 months. All of this without having to play the D-backs once. This would be their first meeting since April 25th. The Diamondbacks were an old bunch. Emphasis on old. Their starting lineup was full of 30-somethings. Their pitching rotation was full of 30-somethings. But this was an old team that got stuff done. They did lead the NL West for most of the 2000 season and won the division in 1999. They added another old arm to the rotation along with Randy Johnson when they got another notable veteran pitcher in a trade from Philadelphia, 6-time All-Star and 1993 NLCS MVP Curt Schilling. The youngest player on their team was a 21-year-old Korean submariner named Byung-Young Kim. I got to the ballpark very early hoping to get a ticket. I was able to get one from a scalper again. I would be sitting in the bleachers section near Triple's Alley. This time I got lucky. I wouldn't be paying $100 for this ticket. We would be getting a little treat before the game, a pre-game concert featuring the one-hit wonder band who asked the question in the year 2000, "Who let the dogs out?" It was a party atmosphere with the concert and the passing out of the Willie Mack Award to Ellis Burks. I hope this was going to be a night to remember. Starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, Todd Stottlemyre, one of the team's many 30-somethings who was nearing the end of their career that the Diamondbacks took a chance on. Stottlemyre played 7 seasons with the Toronto Blue Jays, winning back-to-back World Series in 1992 and 1993. After winning the title in 93, he had this message to the mayor of Philadelphia.
"You can kiss my ass."
After short stints in Oakland, St. Louis, and Texas, Stottlemyre joined the Diamondbacks as a free agent after the 1998 season. He had a 15-11 record in his 3 seasons with Arizona. He would have won a 3rd World Series in 2001, but he missed the entire season due to injury. After a short season in 2002, Stottlemyre hung it up. Starting pitcher for the Giants, Kirk Reeder. In 1996, Reeder was traded from one baseball wasteland in Montreal to another with the Giants. But starting with the 1997 season, The man kindly nicknamed Woody would be one of the best starting pitchers in the Dusty Baker era. In 7 of his 9 full seasons with the Giants, Reeder posted double-digit win totals despite maintaining an ERA over 3. He would retire in 2006 after being designated for assignment during the 2005 season. Before Madison Bumgarner came along, Reeder held the record for most wins by a southpaw during the San Francisco era. And I was there fun fact, Reeder was also the starting pitcher the last time I saw the Giants play the Diamondbacks in person during the final season at Candlestick. One gift the fans in attendance got that night were white rally towels to wave around. There were 2 weeks left in the season, but it felt like a playoff game that night. Let's go. Top of the first, 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom half, after Marvin Bernard and Bill Miller flied out, Barry Bonds walked. Believe me, he did a lot of that in the 2000s and led the league doing it nearly every year. The next batter, Jeff Kent, would use his new surroundings to get the Giants on the board early.
And he hits one high to field. Moving back is Cabrera. Still moving back. And it's off the wall. Giants are going to take the lead. Here comes Bonds. It's 1-0.
That would be all for now as Ellisburg struck out. Top of the second, again, 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom of the second, the Giants would build off the early momentum. After Rich Aurelia grounded out, Doug Mirabelli hit a single to left. Reeder would lay down a sac bunt to move Mirabelli over. Next up, Marvin Bernard would add to the lead before getting caught in a pickle to end the inning.
Marvin Bernard, base hit right field. They will send Mirabelli. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. They have Bernard trapped in a rundown, but he did that as he drives in the run, and San Francisco takes a 2-0 lead over Arizona.
In the top of the third, the Diamondbacks woke up. After Damian Miller grounded out, Danny Clausen would be put on first after getting plunked. Stoudemire would step up and would lay down a bunt. He would get on by a fielder's choice, but not before a little disagreement at second base on what would have been a force out.
Whereas you might rather have that than having Reeder come out of the coast.
Stoudemire gets it down. Reeder's going to second, and they get the force there. Now, the ball dropped. I thought it was on the exchange.
Yeah, I did too. I thought he was transferring to try to turn 2.
Kevin, can you ask for help in this situation?
No, that's really a judgment call. He's on top of it. That's an umpire judgment call. He one-hands it there. He's got it. Now he transfers. Oh, he's out.
That's a bad call.
No doubt about it.
The next batter, Danny Batista, would capitalize on the blown call and tie the game.
He had an easy throw to second base, and he just didn't get the call.
And then a shot to the gap, and that will roll the wall, and it will get both runs home, and now the call by the umpire is really causing concern by Reeder.
The D-backs weren't done punishing the Giants. Jay Bell would give Arizona the lead after a sac fly.
3-2 pitch. Into left center field for Marvin Bernard. Which should be enough to score Batista. It is. And the Diamondbacks take a 3-2 lead.
Luis Gonzalez flied out, and that would be the end of the rally. This time, Stoudemire had himself a pain-free inning against the Giants in the third. 3 up, 3 down. On to the top of the fourth. After Greg Colburn popped out to second, Alex Cabrera would go opposite field to add to the misery.
Cabrera popped out to Kent, and he hits one high to right field. This could be trouble. It is gone. There haven't been many hits to right field, but Cabrera has just hit his 5th, and it's a 4-2 Diamondback lead.
After giving up a single to Matt Williams, Reeder would strike out the next 2 batters to get out of the inning. The Giants would answer back in the bottom of the fourth. JT Snow would lead off with the walk. The next batter, the 2000 Willie Mack Award winner Ellis Burks, would rock the house.
Burke hits one high, hits it deep, he hits it out of here! This game is tied.
Stoudemire would retire the next 3 batters, but we were all even after 4 innings. In the 5th inning, it was quiet. Reeder did fine despite giving up a hit to Batista. For the Diamondbacks, 130-something leaves, another one takes his place as Greg Swindell replaces Stoudemire on the hill. Swindell would keep the game tied with the 1-2-3 inning. To the top of the 6th, Colburn led off with a single to center. After Cabrera flied out to left, Williams would get on with a single to left. Miller would come up next and put Arizona back on top.
Bull past Miller down the left field line. That'll get one in. Bonds picks it up. They're waving in Matt Williams. Aurelia's throw is not in time. And it's 6-4. And a double for Damian Miller.
Changes followed after the hit. Hanley Frias would pinch run for Miller and John Johnstone would come in to pitch for the Giants. Johnstone would nab 2 outs in 1 at-bat. With Clausen up, Frias would get picked off at third and Johnstone would strike out Clausen. But the Giants would answer back in the bottom half. Jeff Kent led off with a walk. JT Snow would be awarded first base after getting pegged. Next up, Burks would add to his RBI totals for the night, bringing the Giants within a run.
Up the middle, into center field. Here comes Kent, and it's 6-5. Burks has done it again.
Next, Aurelia flied out, and Snow would tag up to third. Then Mirabelli would luck out, and once again, we had a tie game.
Mirabelli, little looper to right field. Coming in is Cabrera. Still coming in, and he can't get it. It's a fair ball. This game is tied.
The Diamondbacks would get out of the inning after Ramon Martinez pinch hitting for Johnstone popped out and Bernard lined out. Once again, even Steven. Doug Henry would come in to pitch for the Giants and retire the Diamondbacks in order in the top of the 7th. In the bottom of the 7th, Swindell would be replaced by another old arm. This one was a 40-something named Hey, I remember you. Morgan had no trouble with Miller, Bonds, and Kent, retiring them in order. Henry stuck around to pitch in the top of the 8th. He would retire the next 3 batters after walking Gonzalez. Morgan would stay in the bottom of the 8th and try to keep the game tied. Snow led off with a double. Burks hit a single, giving the Giants runners on the corners with no one out. Aurelia would ground out 5-3, but moving Burks to second. Ross Davis would pinch hit for Mirabelli. Davis would fly out, but it would give the Giants the lead.
The pitch. Swinging a fly ball to center field. Hit well. Batista will make the catch. Here comes Snow. Burks going to third. This game is now taken over by the Giants. They lead by 1.
A double switch for Arizona included another old arm coming in for Morgan. You might be familiar with him. 3-time All-Star, a talking head on the MLB Network, and one of the voices on the MLB The Show game, Dan Plesac. Felipe Crespo would pinch hit for Henry, meaning the 9th inning wasn't too far away. Crespo would provide some insurance in the unlikely way possible.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Crespo. Check swing, behind the mound, Bell charging, barehands it, not in time!
The inning ended after Bernard struck out. And now, the 9th inning, as Rob Nen would try to finish the job. But it was going to get interesting. Tony Womack pinch hits for Kelly Stinnett and got on base with a single to right. Arizona continued to empty their bench as Craig Counsell would hit for Clausen. While he was at the plate, Womack would steal second without a throw, then move to third after Counsell grounded out. Nen would strike out David DeLucci for the second out. Batista would be the last gasp for Arizona's pennant race. On a 1-0 pitch, he would keep the game going, and close.
To Batista. Swinging a pop-up to right field. Burks is over. Burks is over. He leaps. It's off the wall. Calvin Murray comes over from center. A run scores. Batista with a double.
With Batista on second, Jay Bell could tie the game with the ball hit into the outfield. Well, he did that, and the end result? Well, from where I was sitting, I couldn't tell what happened next. I just had to take the crowd's word on it.
And then at the bell. Here's the pitch. Bell hits one well into center field. Murray on the move. Murray on the move. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch! Enjoy this fabulous moment. The Giants have won the National League West. And wherever you are, Giants fans, let the celebration begin.
One season in the new yard, and already everybody was celebrating the Giants returning to the playoffs for the first time since the Team of Destiny in 1997. I was hugging and high-fiving anyone I came across on my way out of the ballpark. But it wasn't over yet when I left the park and I walked to the corner of 3rd and King. The scene reminded me of the Sharks watch party I went to early that year after the Sharks eliminated the Blues. People that were leaving the parking lots were honking in their cars amidst the slow-moving traffic of the city. Even a saxophone-playing busker would join the party and tried really hard to play Who Let the Dogs Out. One landmark of the ballpark is a statue of the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, on the corner. Usually people would pop a squat around the statue or take a picture by it. On that night, I was invited to join a group of complete strangers and climbed up the new statue. The view was nice, and it's still a moment in my life that I could say I literally stood next to Mays in a way. Then I was getting worried about falling off, so I climbed back down. It was a fantastic night indeed. The Diamondbacks ended up taking 3 of 5 from the Giants in that weekend series, but it didn't matter. The Diamondbacks ended up in 3rd place in the division when it was all said and done. The Giants finished the 2000 season with the best record in baseball despite the slow start and adjusting to their new surroundings. They would begin their World Series run against the back-to-back NL wildcard holder, the New York Mets. The Giants started off on the right foot, smashing the Mets in the first game 5-1. This would earn the 2000 Manager of the Year Dusty Baker his first ever postseason win in his managerial career. Remember, in his first postseason trip in 1997, the Giants were swept by the Marlins. After the first game, the Giants ran into the buzzsaw a few times. In Game 2, the Mets came to play. Despite coming back from 3 runs down, thanks to a 3-run homer by JT Snow, the Mets won in extra innings. In Game 3, the Mets won a 13-inning marathon where Benny Agbayani would become a new face in Mets postseason folklore. By then, the Mets had all the momentum. In Game 4, Mets pitcher Bobby Jones threw a one-hit shutout to complete the upset. The Giants had their best record since 1993, and it was all over in less than a week. At least they made the postseason this time.
I would be part of the first winning celebration at the new ballpark when I was there on September 21st, 2000. But it sure wouldn't be the last! Ha ha! There I am right there. So, there's your proof that I was there.
Burks came out for a curtain call, and they are just waving thousands of white towels around here at Pac Bell Park.